This isn't about taking away anyone's rights. It's about protecting children. It's about protecting families. It's about protecting whole communities.
Well, this is something we rarely see from President Biden, a primetime address. President emotionally pleading with Washington to do something.
It's time for each of us to do our part. It's time to act.
With bipartisan talks underway, Biden pleading for sweeping change, but also offering alternatives.
If we can't ban assault weapons, then we should raise the age to purchase them from 18 to 21. Strengthen background checks. Enact safe storage law and red flag laws. Repeal the immunity that protects gun manufacturers from liability. Address the mental health crisis.
Biden describing his proposals as common sense. After 3 decades of congressional inaction, Biden is painfully familiar with the difficulties of gun reform, blaming Republicans who have been standing in the way.
My God, the fact that the majority of the Senate Republicans don't want any of these proposals even to be debated or come up for a vote, I find unconscionable.
The rare primetime remarks on the heels of yet another mass shooting Wednesday, the 233rd this year.
For God's sake, how much more carnage are we willing to accept? How many more innocent American lives must be taken before we say enough, enough?
As investigators piece together what led to the shooting at Robb Elementary School,
guy with a rifle.
For the first time, we are hearing from the attorney for the teacher who was accused of leaving open the door that the gunman entered.
And that door is supposed to always be locked because she thought it was locked, and it always is locked. She propped a rock out to walk a couple feet to get the food.
Her attorney says the teacher walked outside to get food from a colleague, then saw the gunman crash this truck right in front of them and start running with a gun.
She's on the phone and she says, "He's got a gun." And so she immediately turns around and runs right back inside, kicks the rock out, slams the door.
He says the teacher tells 911 what's happening as she runs into an empty classroom and hides.
She starts to hear pop, 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 just really fast.
Eventually, she's rescued, but 19 children and 2 teachers don't make it out alive. Now, as law enforcement's response faces scrutiny, the teacher's attorney says they are not the ones to blame.
The cops aren't at fault. The school's not at fault. The people who are at fault is the shooter and the people who put the guns in his hands. That's who's at fault. Yes, the police obviously could have done a better job. It's a small town. They're not trained Marines.
This as 3 more children were laid to rest on Thursday. 10-year-old Nevaeh Bravo, 10-year-old Eliana Torres, and 11-year-old Miranda Mathis remembered for their smiles and huge hearts.